Okay, so in this lesson we are going to start working on creating the IK control for the left arm. So what we need to do is, with this skeleton, we don't want to really touch the bind for the animation aspects of this. We just want to be able to do the joints on a separate chain. So what I'm going to do is select the arm here and separate it out. So I'm going to actually duplicate this, Control D, and let me undo that just so that I can see the chain here. Okay, Control D duplicates it, then Shift P will give us a separate chain here. And then let's turn the visibility off on the bind rig. So we're only working with that. I'm going to hold Shift and click on the plus here. That will expand everything. And actually, not on that chain, but on this chain that we have visible. Shift click, that will expand everything. I don't need the palm because we're just going to be focusing on the arm here. And this is going to be our IK joints. So this is going to be IK. So I'm going to copy this and paste it, so that way we have a unique name for each object in our scene. And these are not bind joints, so we want to make sure that our naming convention stays consistent. So now that we have that, let's get this last one. There we go. So now that we have that, we have a secondary chain here that will be able to do our IK setup. So we can't just slap on a IK handle. So if we go to skeleton in the rigging menu set, create IK handle, and try to do that here from the wrist to the from the shoulder to the wrist, we can see that we get a curved shape, which is kind of cool maybe for a cartoony character, but we want to have a regular bending elbow here. So let me delete that IK handle. Actually, let's just undo that. There we go. And what we're going to do is make sure that we duplicate that joint chain. And I am going to unparent the elbow and the wrist. Then we're going to delete all of the twist joints. And we will reparent this back together, so the wrist goes inside of the elbow and the elbow goes inside of the shoulder. And then we need to make sure that these have unique names as well, so it's going to be underscore anim. So I'm going to copy that and paste it. There we go. So now we have a joint chain here that has the 3 joints. Let's hide this other chain for a moment so we can set up the IK handle. So I'm going to turn off the visibility here. And now that I have that done, I can set up the IK handle here. So let's go to skeleton, create IK handle tool from the shoulder to the wrist. Now if I select this, we get that motion that we want. Let's turn the visibility back on the IK skeleton. There we go. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and look at this. So when I bend this, it bends, but it doesn't take that other skeleton with it. So what I'm going to do is make sure that it does. So I'm going to select the shoulder, which is the target from the anim chain, and go to the IK chain, select that. We're going to go to constraint, parent constraint. If we reset everything and just make sure that maintain offset is turned off, apply. Then we're going to do that with the elbow, apply, and the wrist, apply. There you go. So now when we do this, it will move that other chain with it. Now we just need to set up the twist attributes. So we need two objects to control that. So for the shoulder here, actually let's do the wrist because it's a little bit easier to see on the wrist. So I want to go to the elbow and the wrist. And what we're going to do is go to constraint, orient option box, edit, let's reset. So when we were looking at the rotations earlier, it's going to be along the X. So if we look at it, it's going to rotate on this axis. So we don't want to constrain all of the axes, just the X axis for the twist. Okay, so we have the elbow, the wrist, and then we need to select the first twist joint, apply. Then we need to adjust the weights so that way it smoothly transitions from one joint to the next. So in this one, the elbow is going to be at 0.75 and the wrist is going to be at 0.25. Okay, and then I can go on to the next one, and this is going to be 0.5 and 0.5. Deselecting the elbow twist 2, and then we're going to go to the elbow twist 3, apply, and then this is going to be 0.25 and 0.75. There we go. So just to test it, we can select the wrist here, and if we rotate this, we shouldn't have it coming off the and offsetting itself. It should just rotate completely on it, on inline. If you have it offset, please check out the orientation video to orient all the joints to make sure that all the joints are oriented correctly. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that for the twist joints on the upper part of the body. So I'm going to select twist 1, apply, then it's going to be 0.75 for the shoulder, 0.25 for the elbow. Joint 2, apply, it's going to be 0.5 and 0.5. Joint 3, going to be at, apply, and then 0.25 and 0.75. Now that should be working properly for us. We shouldn't see it offsetting at all from the joint. If we do anything, it will just automatically take the rotations in account for us. Alright, so that is setting up the IK chain here to work with the twist and getting the IK working. So we will continue on working with the arm in the next lesson. We'll see you guys there.